You know what?
Taking some glasses off. I don't
What
see.
I always end up doing is tussling, and I'm tired of the tussle. We talk about this all the time. Why must my first episode back from my hiatus be chaotic? I don't want it. I don't want it. Hey everybody, welcome to a new episode of Whiskey Sour Libations and Conversations with your girl Dom. And I hit my chin on the mic. We are back. I'm so excited to be back. I feel refreshed, rejuvenated, redeemed. I'm back into my creative bag, and it's only right that I come back with some shenanigans.
I keep hearing that thing.
So we're back to review in a short amount of time one of Tyler Perry's films, the latest. Because I feel like we was just here back in February, maybe it was February when we reviewed Mia Copa, and he has shot another project in between times, and we are back with Divorce in the Black, featuring Megan Good, Corey Hardick, and a lot of other people. And it's only right that I do this with my best friend again.
Yes.
Welcome back to the show, my friend VP the Gemini.
Hey, you guys. Thanks for having me back.
listen. You sent me a voice note in the like, which would have been the middle of the night for me. It wasn't late, but I just woke up from a nap, and asking me if I have seen this movie, and I simply responded, "Please go check my story because and this is going to be some spoilers, guys. So if you have not watched the movie yet, please, I don't know if I should tell you to go watch it or if our review will be worth not watching it if you haven't seen it. But the first 9 minutes and 9 seconds alone was so much chaos where I don't even know what to say.
Yeah. So, yeah. I would say the beginning of the movie, I said it was the first 5 minutes.
Okay.
That was probably the most entertaining part of the movie, which I feel like that part has been circulating around to get people to watch. Tyler Perry always like takes the most dramatic part and previews that, and I feel like everything else just be underwhelming.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing else is fully developed.
Everything don't be quite at that same level.
It'd be close, but no cigar.
Exactly.
And so I guess since we're here, we might as well just jump into it. The movie Divorce in the Black starts off with a funeral service that's happening in this small town, and the preacher person officiating is Richard Lawson. He is one of the lead characters. He's the father of Megan Good's character Ava, and the father-in-law to her. Her. I'm not gonna say estranged because he's not estranged. He is strange. Because we know estranged means like this person is away. No, he here doing too much in the flesh in the present around her. And out the gate, Richard Lawson is going in. Like is talking to the audience, talking about the history, the life of the person that's in the casting. Clearly, this is um Corey Hardy's character's Dallas. This is his brother. And the daddy is just like, hey, he don't say it like this, but I'm you know, phrase it like this motherfucker was a terrible ass person. He going to hell. But for the rest of y'all siblings, y'all just as bad, but you still got time to be saved, and God will open his arms and welcome you into the gates of heaven.
Pretty much, I guess.
Burning. Why? And I know
He no, he did what he was supposed to do. He
he
preached the
did. He
word.
did. He
He didn't do
did.
nothing. I don't think he did anything wrong per se. The only thing I just don't think he needed to quite put it so y'all's brother and your son is looking up from hell, and it ain't too late for y'all to get y'all life on track. I mean, you supposed to let the people know that they can get their life on track still, but I don't think he had to quite say that he was in hell.
Yeah, he singled them out. He singled them out. And what's so funny about it is that he got the guy got killed trying to rob one of the parishioners at the church, some old lady, and got his head blown off. So from there,
That's the way to put it, but
because you're
okay.
right, it's so many ways that he could have said that where it was kind of inclusive to everybody. Like, though we know what happened, there's a way that you could do this. But I mean, it wouldn't be Tyler Perry without the chaos, right? So Richard Lawson fired that shot, and the mother and the brothers reacted. And the mother looks at Megan Good and was like, "I thought you said he was gonna do right and not say anything. He was gonna say nice things about my son and blah 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 blah." Well, chaos, even more chaos erupts. How how does it go from that? I'm just trying to understand the thought process because everybody clearly at this, like, we are seeing how this family is, the Bear Trans or Ben Trans or whatever they call, and they don't. They're clearly very emotional. They don't think a lot before they do things. And the mama jump up and is yelling at the preacher and yells at the mother, Megan Good's mother, the first lady of the church. And it was like, y'all are not about to be able to say that y'all did anything for us. You know, you gave me these hand me downs, which you and I talked about because where you get them hand me downs from? Because y'all not the same size. She
Yeah,
starts taking the clothes off in church. So now she's in her flip,
and
angry.
flip. She took the hat off, so now her hair is in this poof and it's head wrap. So yeah, it's a ghetto ass mess.
It is so ghetto. Y'all, we're not even at the 9 minutes yet. We're not at the like full 9 minutes yet. This is like 5 minutes. So all this banter going back and forth, and she yells out, "Take him out of there." So they go to grab the casket to just wheel the casket out. She says, "No, not the casket." Everybody is looking around and is shocked. And she said, "Take him out of there. Get him out. Y'all can't say y'all did nothing for us." He already embalmed. Like, are y'all gonna give us the money back for that? And then I'm pretty sure they bought the suit because how y'all making this person seem like a hoodlum. I'm pretty sure he didn't have a suit. So the only thing, like the hers, that's a fee. They charge you for that. That rental, they charge you everything. They itemize everything at these funeral homes.
Yeah,
So, y'all, they took the body out the casket. I've never seen such. I don't even know. I can't even call that ghetto, Vernon, because it's
you can't.
beyond that. I can, but I feel like it's beyond ghetto.
It's like it was like ghetto and poor white trash mixed all together.
Okay.
Anything you
So,
roll down, It was like when Iyanla called Keisha Cole's sister Neffy a low down gutter snipe straight up out the hood. That's what it was given.
Bernie,
Straight
they
up.
took the body out the box.
When you say the box, that cracks me up.
But the thing is that you laughing and I'm so serious right now.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah,
Vern, it's so bizarre, chaotic, and confusing, where you almost think that this could potentially happen in real life, or this happened somewhere down in the Delta where Tyler Perry got this from. Because I could see that happening, all of that drama like that.
yeah, yeah. I
And
can
then threw the
see,
body in the back of a pickup truck.
baby, they took that body, and when I tell you that body was so stiff, whoever that actor was that played that body, baby, make sure he was paid what he was worth. Because he didn't flinch, and for in typical Tyler Perry fashion, you would be expecting the hole or him to flinch or move. Baby, he did not move and do nothing. He was stiff, and he was stiff in that backup truck, in the back of that pickup truck.
I think that might have been a dummy.
If it was, cool. But if that was a real person, pay him because he did not flinch, which I would be expecting in a Tyler Perry movie. But yeah,
If it was in a Tyler Perry movie, I mean, this is a Tyler Perry movie. I feel like the only reason why I believe it wasn't a a human being is just because of how it kind of, like, the positioning of it all. Just, like, I feel like the person would have broke character a little bit.
that's what I was expecting. So that's why I'm like, if this is a real person, pay them. But yeah, it was a mess. It was a mess. But that was very dramatic. I could see something to some sort like this happening, maybe not quite taking the actual body of it, but the mama was just very unappreciative. And it's just like, wow, to go through all this. But like she said, we could have just did this at home and buried him in the back.
Which is what they ultimately did.
Yeah,
They just threw hit the body in the ground
right.
without a box.
Yeah.
I don't. Yo,
It just made me think like, are all the other family members that they buried back behind the trailer home, are none of them in a casket or a box? Are they all just hanging out down in the ground? That's what I
I don't
wonder.
know. I don't know. I just so from there, the movie starts. I guess we get into it, but you kind of see from the beginning how disconnected Megan Good, her Ava is her name. Ava and Dallas are with each other, and she is, trying to be there for him. She was very apologetic about her parents' behavior, or more so her father, because her mom really didn't do anything. But yeah, it's just. Then the best friend tells her, "Hey, I know that was bad, but it wasn't as bad as your wedding."
And I appreciate the friend because when I tell you the friend kept it real all throughout the whole movie, kept it real, but held her down. She was really she was a good friend. Like, told her
Yeah.
stuff she didn't need to just hear, but she kept it 100. And then, yeah,
So out the gate, on top of that, we got chaos, drama, confusion, uh, bewilderment happening, and then it kind of mellows down. Mellows out. Like, they go back to life. Her friend is married to Dallas's friend. They You see that it's already tumultuous. They meet for dinner, but Dallas leaves her and gets to the restaurant and is just already drunk on his ass, embarrasses everybody with them. Hell, I had secondhand embarrassment and I wasn't even in the restaurant.
okay, yeah, it was very cringe.
Very cringe, right? And I don't know. Before we break down like this and the rest of this, why did Corey like I know that they supposed to be bottom of the barrel,
Mhm.
but the gold, the hair, he looked like he had on that same hairpiece that Boris Kojo had on.
And I said that. Yeah, I said every time they have a production, every male character like they got a Brillo pad on their head.
Yes, along with the way the so it's like you said, and I thought about that, and I know how you got there, where you was like, what time period is this supposed to be in? Because the dialogue for Dallas is giving jive turkey.
Right.
No, man, blah blah blah.
Who you
You
talking
know
to?
what you did to me.
Who you talking to, woman?
Who you? Yeah.
Yeah, it was
So
very.
it was very, and I know in smaller towns it takes them a second to catch up sometimes, but they live in Atlanta. They moved to Atlanta.
But
So there's
nobody else
no way
talk
that
like
you dressing
nobody
like
else
that.
talk like that.
Yes. Nobody dressed like that or talk like that. So what is happening?
Yeah, exactly.
So he ultimately ends up blurting out that he wants to get a divorce. And, okay, so sad and trying to process it. Her friend, go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say it just came out of nowhere because it's like, what was the determining factor to ask for a divorce? Because not only did she help, like, try to help your family with the funeral, with the, for your brother, and I know your family felt the way, but even besides that, like, you was drunk, she had to drive you back home to Atlanta, was trying to made sure you were good when you were hungover, checked on you, the next morning, got ready. She didn't even take as long as she said it would to get ready. You left her anyway to the restaurant. It was like, well, what? You just seemed pissed off at her the whole time, but what was the thing that just made you say, I want a divorce? Just out the
Yeah,
blue.
I feel like I believe that he clearly needed help. It is bipolar, schizophrenic, or something is happening, which we will see throughout this entire film. And when you're not confident in who you are, when you allow people to uh you're following up what behind people are saying. You don't know how to be a leader. You don't know how to stand in your truth. Things like this happen. So you got his siblings telling him she thinks you better than you. You got a mama saying that. Who knows who else? He got daddy issues. He got mommy issues. He got sibling issues. And he probably mad at himself for a lot of things too. So it's layered, but we never really fully get to experience any of this stuff or kind of even see things from through his gaze, his life, because it's Tyler Perry and we're focused on Ava. And we see that Ava had this really great upbringing, and we're trying to figure out what happened and how you end up with this clown. Because sometimes, I'm going to say this, Vernon, some people are just trash. It's my favorite thing to say, but no matter what you do, some people are just trash and you have to leave them in the garbage.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. But yeah, it was very hard. It was hard to just see her just take it and just deal with it. And then yeah, the divorce bond was just like, wow, after all of that, and now you want a divorce. So yeah, she needed to, I guess, process it all, because she was very much like, okay, like, wow, all right, da da da. It was not. It was no, what? You want a divorce? Me? I mean, she kind of was like, you want a divorce, but it was no like, what? Most of us would be like, after all that we just did or been doing after all the time, and now you want, but you want to divorce me? So yeah, it was that. But so yeah, she processed it in her own way. Yeah, yeah. It's just typical. It's just always it's always in these Tyler Perry movies, a black woman just being so weak, and she
Yeah,
don't find her strength until later. I Yeah, it just gets old, but it's hard to watch, and it takes so long. It's like the very end of the movie where the person finally find they like some type of strength or finally like stand up for themselves.
yeah. And it's I think that's the interesting, and I know I can't knock Tyler Perry for having his audience. He know his target audience is like church women that experience a lot of bullshit, that been through a lot of bullshit. Um, Maybe they fall at a certain, like they right at the poverty line or something, or in the, like there's a lot of different things. Am I lying? I didn't lie
I would
because
hope that if his audience is at the poverty line, they not paying for Prime and Netflix, and they ain't got BET Plus.
like I don't know, like I'm
I just feel like his audience it is mostly women. And it's people like me who have been fans of a lot of things from the beginning, and it's just like let's see what shenanigans he up to now. But it do be a lot of battered and abused women, I think, or just women in general. It's
like
at,
that's I think my frustrating part is that he keeps making the same content as if that's every black woman's story, and it's not. And I think that the main thing that we've been trying to express, especially in these recent years, is how black women and black people in general, we're not a monolith. So I think that's why people love the "Why Did I Get Married" series so much, because it is relatable, it's understandable. You don't have it where somebody is at least not physically being abused, because I mean Sheila's character, but it's more relatable understanding, because in a core friendship circle, sometimes that is literally how it's set up. You know, you got the doctor, somebody got this, doing hair, all the, different careers that people have going for themselves. And then you do have someone like Sheila that could be, exists in the friend circle, that could be a homemaker or whatever. And so that it made sense. And so but now it's like I think what happens too here is that we, as Black people, often experience or believe that we can't receive love and compassion from our partners without some sort of struggle or chaos. And until that can exist, it's like literally a Tyler Perry movie. Unfortunately, somebody always end up dead in the recent ones. But
and it's always a man. And where's the outrage for the black men? Because although the black women be weak and they don't find their strength to the end, but there's no, instead of the black man dying, why can't it be, he had to go to the hospital and receive help?
yeah,
It's never any of that for the positive black man. And it's always, and if it is a black man that's positive and that's on the right track, or a black woman that's positive on the right track, it's the friends of.
yeah,
Never the
yeah,
main, and it just, yeah.
yeah, just like that. And I think that's the reality of it is too, is that just as much as women are experiencing these situations, and I know the numbers are higher, but men also experience similar things too.
Absolutely.
And so at some point, it's like, can it be a man going through? Why does it always have to be a woman? Or like you said, it is just, there's so many ways to get through this, because what happened in this is normal. Like, okay, People violate their restraining orders all the time. That's how people end up dead. And I've talked about this on other podcasts where I feel like if a restraining order is granted to somebody and they have enough evidence, because they clearly have enough evidence, because people think it's easy to get a restraining order. It's not.
It's not.
It's not. And so once a restraining order goes through, I'm gonna be honest. I believe that should be a course of action for the person that is the where you can't come around. Like not only I believe that low key, I feel like the motherfucker, if I got a restraining order against you, I feel like you should be in jail. Because you violate things all the time. It's a crime of passion, and you see that happen all the time where the person that has a restraining order comes up dead because this person just couldn't accept no.
Mm-hmm.
And then in this case, you have it where he's upset because she went home for like a week or so to
It was like a week.
to find herself. She
Mm-hmm.
reconnected with a guy that she briefly dated in high school, but his Dallas and his brothers beat him up,
Yeah.
put him in a hospital,
Mm-hmm.
which is also like I would never even want anything to do with this person, no contact, because I clearly almost lost my life when I was 17. Now we
And and almost got his ass whooped again when he saw her after the funeral at the bar.
yeah,
Remember they was.
almost, but I feel like he might have because he had
I
grew.
mean, but it was all the brothers though. So I
Yeah,
mean, he had a better chance of fighting for himself than he did when he was back in high school because he was bigger now. But he was about to get jumped again.
yeah,
Crazy.
and you. Never mind. I
And
guess
then, but going back to the restraining order part, she didn't even want to get the restraining order at first. Even after all that, after he was popping up, showing that he was still crazy, the friend still had to convince her. She was like, "No, no, no, he's fine. He's not going to come back again.
yeah.
Get the
And
restraining
that's what I
order."
was saying because now he's in his head because when she went home for that week and she found herself and was like, okay, F this. I don't have to deal with this. Like I'm deserving of so much more. And and I appreciate his attorney saying, hey, you don't have counsel here. You might want to might want to read this, blah, 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 blah. And I felt like maybe it was something in the documents that changed and he was gonna try to shortchange her or something.
I thought
That
so too.
yeah. And so she signed that shit and walked out. And now you in your feelings because she didn't want to fight for you, but you told me you didn't want me.
After you made a whole scene in the restaurant, said you want a divorce.
I gave you what you wanted.
You kept saying, make sure you popped up, sign, make sure you sign the papers. And when she signed the papers, it was a problem there. I'm just like,
Yep.
what is going on with this man?
It is too much happening.
It
I just
is
don't understand. I guess I don't understand shit like that because um what kind of sick mind game are you trying to play?
right. And then to come back to break into the home, come back saying you ain't leaving, you getting your stuff and coming back. Like, why? You were clearly unhappy. You never showed her no appreciation. It was all mind games, but it was like, why though? Why the
And
mind games?
well, he's a narcissist. Like he expressed outside of that the other issues that he had, like being bipolar and schizophrenic. I feel like these are patterns of a
Well,
narcissist.
we didn't know that. Did we know that he was bipolar or schizophrenic? I mean, he was showing the signs.
Hey, I'm developing the character. Okay,
You diagnosed him.
yeah, I'm diagnosing him and developing the character because Tyler Perry did not. Okay, all we know, because like I said, the character did not seem placed in this millennia. He was in 1972.
Yeah, it was weird. I would say for me, and it was that. So yeah, it was a lot of
not understanding really where his mindset was, why he was really
Yeah,
doing things that he was doing. There was really no huge backstory to that. And then what's also was crazy is that the small town that they had the funeral at and where she went back home, they were saying it was an hour and a half away.
yeah,
But it seemed like it was taking them like 15 minutes to get between there and back in Atlanta because they would go
right,
in between and it would be so fast, especially for the ex-husband who he was high, he was drunk, he would show up at random, but he was always somewhere, it popping up randomly in Atlanta and popping up randomly at back at the town that they grew up in. So I'm like,
right.
I
But
was
like, how you
confused.
how you get, and I get it. Like, I know time is supposed to be imaginary in movies and shit like that, but it's like, okay, in the very next scene, you can't be waiting outside the bank, and then the next scene you're at the grocery store hemming up the mom.
Right, in the town.
Like, give me something else, and like, I need a filler.
Exactly. Like something that tells me this is all happened in this time, and now by between all the time, now he's back in the town.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was that other thing. I was just like, okay, so we just gonna go to this scene and this scene. So the timeline is not adding up. But this also happens when you don't have multiple people, just like we said in Mia Culpa in the writers' room, because somebody could have said, hey, that next scene cannot be
Right after
Alice being at the grocery store, because
he was just at the bank.
chronologic, yeah, it just time wise, it doesn't make sense.
Right. But see, that's what happens when you make movies in 3 to 5 business days. You be missing stuff and you be so busy trying to shoot everything and condense everything. I don't know. At this point, I really do think Tyler Perry, and I said it, the movie talked about me a couple, he is doing this on purpose.
Yeah,
He's doing these things on purpose because it's getting us to. We're not just talking about the movie script and the plot. We're talking about we're talking about it, but we're not just talking about what went on. We're talking about all the problems and things that go wrong. And I
yeah.
think that at this point, I think he's just so unserious. He's so unserious with these productions, and I really feel like because you can even tell by some of the jokes that he writes in there. I just think that overall, it's just all one huge funny joke to him.
And I also, the one thing that I also pointed out too was, I don't I don't watch a lot of movies with Megan because I watch the Harlem show, so I do watch Megan Good because I do enjoy Harlem.
Hmm.
But I told you, it she kept, every time they would cut to her, she would be like this. And I'm like, what is happening? Like, no one said anything to you yet where you should be like, what WTF? But it will cut to her and she would be like, eyes just big, like, and I'm like, okay, is that supposed to be a part of this character? Does this create a layer of naivete? But I don't think it does, because you're just, it was like that a lot. Like, she just looked like a deer in headlights. And I was like, okay, somebody should have stopped and said, hey, Megan, you're doing it again with your eyes. Can you just relax? Like, I know that's how you thinking, like it's okay to respond, but it comes across like a little shocking as opposed to,
I didn't notice it when you previously talked and you mentioned that. I didn't notice her looking like that, but now that I'm thinking about it, maybe she was supposed to look like that because was she still looking that way once because she had that moment where her dad, showed her those home videos and let her know like, hey, this is the girl that I knew, and this is how you were before you married that guy. Do you think once she found like herself and was like, "Damn, I really was this girl, and I'm the girl," and she found her strength, was she still looking like that once she
yes,
found? Really,
yeah. It was like,
I didn't notice
I,
that.
I just don't know. I just, also the other thing, and I know this happens in movies. This happens in movies. Just like how we said, he keep popping up. So they're at the, now we have her kind of, they put her with the other guy, Benji, that she grew up with.
Yeah,
which also, okay, cool. Now a picture of her talking to him at a fair gets sent to Dallas. And so he's like, she been cheating on me the whole time, man.
I was like, okay, I was gonna say, and I almost forgot to mention when we previously talked. Who sent that picture? Like, who took a picture and why? And the picture was so close. It was almost to the point where it's like y'all, so y'all didn't notice anybody that y'all knew, because
I think,
it seemed like his family, somebody in his family,
yeah,
got
it
a
was the
hold of a
brother
picture.
that taught him.
Okay,
And
so I'm
then,
like, y'all
they
didn't notice the
said
brother there.
it was the brother. And
Okay,
then because he said, you want us to handle it? And so, yeah, so you just come from this family where y'all just resort to violence all the time. All the
yeah,
time.
right. And it's like y'all still not getting it after the preacher just said it. Y'all didn't hear nothing, and y'all don't even care because look at how y'all brother died. Like it didn't, nothing resonated with y'all to say, hey, maybe we should kind of ease up or change some things. Y'all still choosing violence every day,
Every day.
all day. Cause the old boy had time to drive in between two towns.
And, okay, where do you work? What are you doing? Because wasn't he in construction? There's something, it's Atlanta. There are new buildings coming together every day. Why the fuck do you have time? And you move out, you got what looked like a nice apartment.
Cause they didn't allude to say like maybe he was off of work for bereavement. They didn't say none of that. Like, why do he have so much time, but Megan got to go back to work?
And they ain't have no money. It was like not like that, because he gave her the house. He was like, your parents gave us the down payment so you can keep the house. Like you said, she was working. She clearly is the more responsible one. Nigga, you need to be at work. You worried about a woman that you told to get out, leave right now. It's the end of you and me, and now you wanna get to, like, no. You are not well. You are not well. And
Yeah.
men do that all the time, Vernon, where a woman would be fed up and wanting to move on with her life, and now they want to, well, he wasn't acting accordingly, but they want to claim and pretend to get their shit together and act accordingly. And it always lasts for so long until we
Yeah.
right back at one like motherfucking Brian McKnight.
But see, and I can kind of see, yes, he wanted the divorce. Yes, he was over it. But the thing for him was seeing her with that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he felt like, oh shit, you've been with him the whole time anyway. So he felt like she giving her up, but she finna have a smooth transition on to this next guy while he finna be left with nothing. And I think that was the thing that really was setting him off on like trying to get back with her because he didn't want to see her happy with somebody else, which is fucked up.
I
Which,
think it's a matter, yes, it's that. And also, you would think that him creating that narrative in his mind would help him release it. But because
not that fast. It wasn't gonna happen that fast.
well, I was thinking of the sense of, this goes back to, it's so crazy because I was listening to a podcast, the show So Shameless podcast, and the host Tahoe was talking about at one point being being an abuser, being on the giving end of that and the receiving end, and talking about, like, the therapist on there explaining, and we say this all the time, like, this is common knowledge, that men don't know how to process their emotions. Something can happen to y'all. You could be, a girl could break your heart, just like you in preschool. You remember her name.
Yeah.
And it's not like, so it's like, you guys are not taught to process your emotions. That's something that this generation is trying to do. And you don't understand why you feel like this, what happened, what could have triggered you to respond that way, instead of taking a step back and be like, okay, what part did I play in this? How did we get here? Let me break it down. Let me not repeat this again.
I don't think he cared about none of that. He couldn't have.
You don't think so?
I
Okay.
don't think he. I really don't think he cared. I think he was just playing the games. It was all about him and how he felt after all that she was looking out for him and all that she was doing for him. And you still, just the fact he couldn't care because after all that she's done for him and the treatment that he put on her, for him to be the one that asked for a divorce, he couldn't like. There was no thought process at all. And if
Yeah.
it was misconstrued. If there was a thought process, because you just
Yeah.
doing shit just to be doing it.
And the fact that it was just like, hey, like what Beyonce say, go, get up out of here. I'm free. And so these chains that I had where you was controlling me like, strings like a puppet, I've released that. And so you thought that I was about to be sad and miserable over you, and I'm not. Like I'm done with that. I'm past that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just, but that's what I mean. Like, and I know this happens in real life. I know that part does happen. But sitting outside somebody's job, let me go hem your mama up real quick.
Attack the daddy.
Let me attack the daddy. Though the daddy was a hothead and had no business going over there.
You right.
No, especially
I
knowing
mean, he should not technically he should not have gone, but after the treatment of his wife, I mean,
I get it.
can you blame the man?
I get it. And then he killed Benji's animals.
Right, the guy killed Benji's animals. So it was just a lot of crazy shit going on. But yeah, in typical Tyler Perry fashion, she finds her strength at the end and yeah. So they really took us through a roller coaster, of course, just to have an underwhelming ending. I feel like Mia Culpa was an underwhelming ending. Uh,
But at least
but
the Mia Culpa ending was still a little more gaggy.
in a way, yeah. In a way, because you're right, it did end in a different way
Yeah.
than we
Because
thought.
her unhooking the dude's seatbelt and then swerving him into the truck so he can fly out the window.
Yeah,
How he how she killed the mama
yeah,
and the brother, she just, shot him and he went to jail. But
yeah,
you know what I mean? I just think that I will say this. The one thing I did like is the friend couple, because the homeboy, he tried to, because his Dallas's marriage was dissolved, he tried to fuck they shit up, which caused a little drama. But
yeah,
ultimately, I liked how he did hold his friend accountable, somewhat, to a
yeah,
certain degree, not fully.
yeah.
But then,
I mean,
uh,
he can only do so much because the man wasn't trying to listen to nobody, not even his best friend.
he wasn't. But I would have been like, dude, you ain't my friend. You ain't never been my friend. You was switched. You a traitor. And it's just like, that's what I mean. Like this dialogue. Like, why was this written like this? But
Right,
the homeboy checked in when he called his wife a bitch, all those different things, and was like, "Yeah, I'll always have your back, but you are wrong. Like, you're the one that's wanted to divorce her. Why are you here? Why are you stalking her? Like, you need to go get help." He encouraged him to go get help. How you popping up at people's houses? Again, I know that happens at movies. And then you thinking you gonna fight and act a fool, knowing that this dude gonna kick your ass. Just like Loki, how he ain't fight the daddy. You got your brothers to do it, because I believe that you probably wasn't even in that fight when they jumped old dude back in the day, because you the punk, like you the weaker one.
right.
So it's just wild like that.
But
I
we,
can't explain it.
but I agree with you. I do like the couple. Was there anything else positive? I guess should we end on a positive note? Like, was there anything else positive that you liked about the movie?
The first 15 minutes.
It was entertaining, yes.
When he threw that body in the back of the truck,
Yeah,
it was wild. Like I still,
yeah,
like seriously, I want so much more from my people. And
yeah.
y'all been talking about, and like you said, we always gonna tune in to see what are the shenanigans. And normally I don't tune in. I watch Mia Culpa because of Kelly Rowland simply and Trevante. And then Acrimony got watched because Kid Fury and Crystal talked about it so bad.
Yeah,
And again, I still don't know how she got on that fucking boat.
right. Yeah,
Like, were you hiding in the sailor's closet, like in the deck, like below deck?
no idea.
No idea.
Yeah, I watched Acrimony because of Taraji. Um, just to see like, and I am curious. I'm like, I mean, but let's not get it twisted. I mean, if Tyler Perry was to call any one of us to be in the movie, I mean, are you really gonna turn it down?
I mean, if he paying the bag, but I
You
would
know
just
he's paying.
but look, I'm gonna just say this. I'm like Tyler.
Nope,
I got a few notes. Let's just
nope,
discuss it. I'm not asking. I'm just saying, be open,
girl, you out. How
and
dare you?
that's fine.
You won't be in the movie if you're
That's
trying to
fine.
get him notes.
Because I mean, at the end of the day, like again,
I just love to see. I was just glad to see. I love Megan Good. She could do no wrong to me. I love, the fact that her and Deborah Morgan was able to get back together since they've been, since they did East Bayou together.
hmm,
It was good to see Richard Lawson. I was worried about him and wonder how he was doing after Tina Knowles divorced his ass. But it was good to see him,
I
and I
really
felt
don't know
like,
what that's about because they too old to be getting a divorce.
man. But hey, I mean, hey, it must have been that bad where it's like I can't do it no more.
Yeah,
But in low key, I felt like, and my cousin said that also the woman who played the mama, y'all could have gave that to Monique.
yeah. I feel like he wrote that with Monique's personality in mind.
Yep, I
Yeah,
definitely saw Monique in that. But
yeah.
yeah, I'm glad to see the black people and Corey. It was nice to see him have a job.
Who is Corey? Is that Benji?
Corey Harwick, the one who
Oh, Tia, Tamara, one of them.
he is ex-husband. It was nice to see him in something, and I don't, it's good they got a bag. They got that Tyler Perry money, but I've seen better acting from him.
Yeah,
But
it was very weak to me.
it was weak. It was definitely watered down. But hey, they working, and that was the highlight for me. So I can't be mad at that part. But yeah, we gonna be talking about another Tyler Perry movie in a few months.
I know, I know, I know. It's wild. It's just wild. I thought we were supposed to be getting another Why Did I Get Married? Because I feel like maybe it was multiple writers on that. Because that, like, Tyler, Why Did I
Do
Get
we
Married?
need another one? Because I don't know if
Hey,
everybody
I
was.
thought old girl was gonna get with the Rock. You remember that cameo?
I forgot about that. But nobody was really. I don't think many people spoken with that show, with the TV show though. They did a "Why Did I Get Married" TV show. I don't know how long that lasted, but I don't. Yeah, that got
Okay,
canceled. So I don't know if there's gonna be another
that
one.
lets you know. I didn't even know that there was a show. Shit.
He
Well,
did. I forget how many seasons it was, but it was starring Angela. And as much as we loved her, it just wasn't. They was
it's
trying to
not.
make it comedy. He was just trying to make it into a scripted comedy like the Browns, and I don't think it should have been given that. So I don't know.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully at some point characters fully get developed before it goes into production, so we don't have to ask these questions. Because, like I said, I like not trying to be funny and not trying to take anything away from Homegirl. I mean, I would be interested because clearly y'all grew up in this trailer park, and not to say that people in the trailer park don't have sense or house home training or anything like that, but I would like to have known a little more about his character and what made him kind of click. And and I will say this, hold on y'all, we did get a flashback to the wedding, and they showed a clip of the wedding when the dad, Ava's dad, showed her like, this is who you are after this day, which was the wedding. We never saw you smile ever again. And then you see the
Right.
mama come up and interrupt the wedding, knock her bouquet out her hand in the middle of the ceremony. Then you see Dallas run behind the mama, and so they just allow her to just kind of run amok. Sounds like my granny, but that's neither here or there. With that said,
That sounds like your granny.
we're gonna end this episode. And you're right. We'll be back here talking about something else crazy that type of Tyler Perry did.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it'll be more like better notes.
Yeah.
But I don't. You're right. I don't think he probably even cares because at this point, he got to be trolling us.
I mean, he know we watching regardless.
Here's the thing, too.
We keep watching.
Are these movies getting greenlit just based on the plot?
I think it's based off of Tyler Perry, his name.
Because if I was an exec reading these last two movies and I was given a green light, I would be like, okay, here's some notes.
You
Like
would think,
the studio can give notes. Like I literally,
but are you giving? Okay, but clearly, I mean, they see that everything that he does, people flock to, and it's got numbers. That's why he's able to pay these people what they're worth because we're still going to watch. So I mean, we're complaining about it, but we're still watching it. We
yeah.
complained about Mia Culpa, and we still went to watch the next movie. Just like we're going to watch the next movie after that. So it's like, what do you need notes and critiques for if people are still watching? So that's why he's getting greenlit. I would be interested in see what projects he tried to get greenlit that did not.
Ooh, now that's a question.
Because if these ones are getting through, what is not going through?
Like, yeah, no, for real. Or is it that he, like you said, maybe he getting special treatment on his name? But I would be interested to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So y'all, join us here again for the next review because there's got to be something in production, post pre-production, and I
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's something that came out like last week or the week before last, and there's something in pre-production right now. So we'll be back here by the end of the year with mid-fall with some sort of update regarding Tyler Perry because he wrote, shot, and edited.
I mean, he's written like 2 movies since we've been on the show.
Yeah. So well, I appreciate y'all for stopping in, and I'm back. We gonna run it up, run these numbers up. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and share the podcast with your friends. You can listen wherever you podcast. And Vernon, tell the people where they find you, or if you want to be found.
You already know. Twitter, Instagram, it's at vodka_villain. Snapchat, villain V24. A lot of randomness. So yeah.
All right, y'all. We will see y'all back here next week.
Bye.